I didn't put myself up here. Honey, something tells me that this algorithm is going to do me wrong because I am never up here on this live like this at this time of night. Hi, Kelly. Hi, Eli. And then God forbid with this Instagram tabs. Hold on, let me start getting my tabs together. If I put my tab here, pow, and then I go over here, and put my tab over here, exclamation point, boom. Oh, nope, not that one. Then I put this right here, okay, and then I put this tab right here, okay, and then I put it over here like this. Boom. Okay. I think I got it set up to where I could see everything. Greetings, everybody. Hey, hey, hey. Listen. Hey, TikTok. Hi, YouTube. Hi, Instagram. So, today we're going to be doing some good old readings today. If you don't know, if you haven't been watching my content, a heavy part of what I do involves a system of Afro-numerology that I created called the NUMBAS. All right. And so we get your numbers together. And let me tell you something, people lie, but numbers don't. Okay. All the things that do all the things are also calculatable. We had a great reading. I got on yesterday and did it. I actually accidentally skipped my good friend, Christina, which I'm going to start off and do hers. All that is required from you, if you would like to get on board and get a reading, is to, when you send your Cash App, you can put your birthday in that. Or you can send it and then comment it. Okay. I may end up asking you just in case. So, what we're focusing on today is enemy pattern reading. And so an enemy pattern reading is set up, specifically to highlight the ways in which you are opposed, the ways in which an enemy comes up against you. Oh yeah, we on late night. Hey y'all, the way an enemy comes up against you. And when we talk about an enemy, it's very important that we get very crystal clear about this. An enemy is not always a person. An enemy is not always, we tend to want to get an image of an individual that done looked at us crazy, did us wrong, something like that, and be like, enemy. Sometimes the enemy is a pattern. Sometimes the enemy is a behavior. Sometimes the enemy is sometimes the enemy is you. You know, if you grew up in Black church, we called everything the devil. It's the devil. But really, we call anything that is acting in opposition to us, anything that we don't like the taste of, the devil. That's the devil. So it could be an energy. It could be a person. It could be a pattern. It could be a spirit. But it's very important if we understand the ways in which a spirit, a thing, our numbers are opposed, then we understand most anything. All right. And I have found that the way, hey, Ianifa, hey, Ia, the way in which the numbers calculate have compared directly to several other forms of divination that I have both practiced and received. And it is all equal. So let me slide over here and open this up so I can accurately see who is doing what. And then we're going to get started, y'all, for this little late night session. Okay. So again, only thing that you need to do is when you send your Cash App to send your birthday in there, we could get clear. Read me privately. Privately. I got you. I got you, Claude. Okay, Claude. I got you. Privately. I'll send you an audio message. Praise the Lord. So who I'm gonna start with Christina. Now, I don't know if Christina sent me because I missed her from the last live. So, but I don't know if Christina sent me her birthday. I should know. Dear God. Let me see. Oh, Lord. Search. Christina, I'm trying to do your reading, girl, but I don't know what your birthday is. Where's your birthday, Christina? Hold on, I'm gonna find it. Hold on. Let me see. If I do this, because I know you've sent it, because you've got readings before. I know you sent it. Christina, this 5/26. Is it? No, that's the day for 5/26. That's her birth. Is it 5/26? I wish Christina was on here. I don't see it. Claude said, because you definitely missed my birthday. Not the gag on live. Claude been holding that in the chamber. Claude has been holding that in the chamber. Not Claude gagged me on live. Claude has had that in the chamber, y'all. Jesus. Oh, this is probably why. Is it coming up on this? Yes. Honey, I'm gonna have to keep looking for this. It's a downright shame. It's a downright shame. Okay, well, did I? Oh, I found it. I found it, Christina. Woo! I had to search high and low. Okay. Hey, T-Red. All right, so we're gonna start with Christina, and then I got Deja, and then I have Dr. Claude Petty Hamilton privately. So I'll be sending him a good old audio message. Okay. Yeah. All right. So now that I done got my affairs in order, I'm gonna start with Christina, get hers out the way, and then I'll send it to her once we're done. Because I missed her last time. A part of this is understanding that everyone has what I call a sacred count. A sacred count is your spiritual social security number. Okay? It's your SSSN. All right? Your spiritual social security number. And when you identify that, when you know that, when you understand the fullness of that pattern, you understand how the world, the universe is organized around you, through you, and with you. So, first of all, Christina, your sacred count is 588. Look at that. Make sure. 5883. Yeah, 5883. Because 1 plus 9 plus 7 plus 0 is 17. 1 plus 7 is 8. Yes. 5 plus 2 plus 6 plus 1 plus 9 plus 7 plus 0 is 30. So that makes it 3. 5883. So this is what you need to know. I hate Instagram. I'm just finna close Instagram out. Sorry. Instagram terrorizes me. Christina, the first number that you have is that 5 birth gate. The birth gate is normally an indicator of how you enter the world, how you enter spaces, how people also enter into your life. In this particular situation, it's important for you to know that the birth gate indicates how an enemy enters your doorway. So she's going to be on YouTube, so I'm going to be right here. Hey, friend, my son that just played football got accepted into med school. What? Well, congratulations. Congratulations to him. Yes, I'm so happy for him. And you better raise him up in the way he should go. Oh, that's amazing. We want to wish him all of the success. May the ancestors, all the energies that are connected to him, that's for his wellness and for his highest good. Cover him. Strengthen him. You told me to post that on my reading. I told you to post that on your reading. What you mean? You told me to post that on my reading. We read on this? Catch me up, because you know I'll be thinking about it a lot. Oh, to push that on your personal read. Oh, to push for him to. Yes, I remember. He read. Oh, wait. Let me look at you. Yes, I remember that. I remember that. And so he went ahead and then he got accepted. Yes. I remember, hey, loving me more. I remember that in his energy and us. And I was like, oh, that would definitely be the route for him. And he went for it and then he got accepted. That's amazing. I'm happy for him. Cover him. All right. Oh, that's amazing. Listen, come on, Carfax. We here for the praise reports and the receipts. We looking for the lies. Okay, congratulations. Christina, the birth gate is going to indicate how enemies enter in and attack you. You have a 5 birth gate, Christina. 5 is the number of movement and change. 5 is the number of liberation. 5 is the number of adaptability, unpredictability. 5 is also connected to all forms of movement and messaging. Okay? So 5, when a 5 gets attacked, it gets attacked through chaos. Chaos and overstimulation. All right, so your enemies first are going to try to scatter your attention. You don't know what's happening, where to focus, what to do. They're going to come to try to scatter you, to try to throw unexpected changes at you. Because 5 is on that frequency, they're basically just souring your number. They try to overwhelm you with their schedule. Yeah. They try to tempt you with impulsivity. Because the 5 is so curious. That's another attribute of the 5. That you will have a clear track and a clear path. And then, hey, Just Sarah, I got to text you back. I got your text, but I was running the streets. I'm going to text you back. That 5 is tempted through their curiosity. All right? So because 5 thrives in the doorway of freedom, the enemies will try to come and twist that flexibility into instability. So if they can keep you, Christina, always reacting, if they can keep you always going from left to right, one thing to the next, not in responding, but in reacting, then they can stop you from evolving. They also will try to box you in because 5 centers movement and freedom. So they'll try to box you into one role, one in the workspace, one role, one way of doing your things. They'll try to limit you and restrict you. All right? That's how they try to enter in. They're going to try to overwhelm you and distract you first, and also try to limit you because 5 centers freedom. I wish she was on here, but she'll watch it next. Your second number, which is your soul nature number, is an 8. When you have that 8 soul nature, enemies attack an 8 through power and authority. They also attack your emotional body, particularly the area of your confidence, because 8 rules power, 8 rules authority, right? So they're going to come and challenge your position. No, it's not too late. And Winky Hurley, I wasn't live when you sent the thing last time. I wasn't live. Now I'm live. That was a replay. Y'all got to check and make sure y'all watching. If it's a replay, if you got a comment, like in the comment section, it's not live. So just be mindful of that. But yes, you can get on the list. Child, I'm up. All right. So they're going to try to challenge your position. They're going to try to poke at your ego. They're going to create a power struggle. Yeah. And because 8 is so ego-centered and about their power, if they can make you feel disrespected, you immediately going to respond to that. Okay? Immediately. And then because 8 is power is motion and energy, they're going to try to drain you. They want to drain your energy, particularly with conflict. All right? And you could be the authority. You could be the one that is the leader. But instead, they're going to undermine your leadership because that is the trigger for you. So because you got an 8 soul nature, the soul nature is the number that speaks to the essence of who you are. So when you got that 8 soul nature, You are naturally commanding. I saw y'all, Felicia, I saw you come through. Naturally commanding, all right? And the enemies are going to try to come for that command. All right? And what you're going to do, because you got that 8 and you are power and structure and everything, peace to you as well. You're going to work harder and then overwork because you think you have to prove yourself. And that's what they want you to think, because you will overwork, overwhelm yourself. And when they see you do that, the enemy starts to feel successful. So you can't let them shake your power and change your routine. Don't let them change your routine. Don't make no adjustments. Stick to your structure. Stick to your routine. 8 also rules success. So you know what the fuck you're doing. Excuse me. All right. Let's get to the next number, which is the ancestral current. This is the ancestral current number 8. All right. No. Am I right? Hold on. 2, 3. Yeah. 8. Am I lying? No, 5, 8. You have double 8. Right. The ancestral current is a number that indicates how the energy comes through your lineage. So you got that number 8. What this speaks to is your ancestors, because we don't inherit everything from your ancestors. That's why some folks got ancestors that sing and cook, and then they can't sing nor cook. They got to stay away from a microphone and a kitchen because we don't get everything, right? Certain things come to you. You could have siblings. Just because y'all got the same parent, y'all don't got the same ancestral energy. Energy, not the blood. I'm talking about energy, all right? Unless y'all twins, then y'all do got the same. But if y'all not twins, you don't have the same, you might got the same, no. If y'all not born the same year, sweetie, your ancestral current is not the same, all right? So you get different things. So you have an 8 in your ancestral current. I got you, Winky. Well, you got an 8 in your ancestral current. And so that means that your ancestors dealt with generational pressure. Your ancestors dealt with leadership roles and having to be in survival, having responsibility that may have seemed too much for them, or people doubting the fact that they could handle the things that they said that they could handle. All right? And so the enemies will attack your lineage by creating financial stress. That's the first thing they're going to do. Then come and try to shake the coins up. All right? Triggering control issues. All right? Try to undermine power, interrupt your control. They also will then try to activate your old survival wounds. Could be some they say, some they do, but put you in a space where you think that you got to survive. But what they're doing is they're usurping your power. Even when somebody gets you to react and you start doubling down, you doing more does not mean an increase in power. In fact, that is a response and evidence of you giving your power away. All right? So the weight that 8 current carries, Christina, is I must hold everything together. So an enemy is going to hit your lineage where the lineage is already strained. That's what you got to know. Peace, Kiara. This a late night. Yeah, you know it is, honey. A late night. All right? We got to know it. And lastly, your divine mission is 3. So what does that mean? 3 is the number of joy and communication and expression and also confidence. So guess what they're going to do? Try to silence you. They're going to try to shame you when you're trying to express yourself or share. They're going to try to make you fear judgment. They're going to try to block your communication, distort your communication. So what you're trying to say, it don't get across. do whatever they can to make you feel like you're doing the most and like you too much. Here's the truth. You shine when you're honest and direct. The 3 is not defeated when the 3 sticks to the truth. So as long as you stick to the truth, Christina, and you cut through the bullshit, because your destiny is connected to clarity. Clarity is your strongest weapon. Think about the people that you think about in your life, the people that you have addressed head on. Think about that. The people you address head on, they start to cower. When you start to speak with clarity and ask them to explain and clarify what they tried to do, that narrative they tried to spin about you starts to weaken. So your super weapon, based upon these numbers, is an authoritative expression. I got y'all. I see y'all coming through. The 5 makes you adaptable. The 8 gives you the strength. That other 8 means that you inherited a strategic mind from your ancestors. And that 3 gives you the power of expression and controlling the narrative. All right? So your spirit is going to win when you speak with strength and move with intention. They cannot beat you because you will intimidate your enemies, because your voice carries authorities. And their presence only carries weight. So you're a powerhouse girl. And so you got to act like it. All right, Christina, thank you. I got Deja, then I got Nakwazi, Felicia, Alicia, and Kiara. Let's go. Deja, you here? Deja, when's your birthday, sweetie? Deja, one of your videos came on my not my sparkling water try to kill me. Oh my God. My sparkling water tried to kill me just now. Oh my God. Send help. Oh my God. It tried to kill me. And what was y'all doing when it was trying to take me out of here? It was a video of you singing. Wait, am I talking about the right person? Make sure you the right person. I think you the right person. Ain't that you? You don't sing? I thought that was you. You sing, right? I supposed to, LOL. Okay, I'm hollering. Well, I swear it was a video of you that popped up and it gave me life. Baby, all them jazz, them blue notes, it gives me life. So, you're born 9/19/1996. Nine 19/1996. Mm-hmm. Jesus. Okay. Uh-huh. So this is your sacred count. If you've gotten a reading from me before, you already know this. If not, here's your reminder. I'm telling y'all, pay attention. Make sure y'all know these numbers. 9, 1, 7, and 8. So you got that 9 birth gate. This is how your enemy enters your doorway. First thing they're going to try to do to you, Deja, is attack you through emotional overwhelm and exhaustion. 9 is the healer. 9 is a humanitarian. 9 is a helper. 9 likes to do this, do that, da, 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 da. 9 also takes on too much. 9 also can be the martyr. Okay? So they try to drain your compassion. You're going to be kind, and they're going to use your kindness up for every drop it got. Every kindness. So they normally enter in acting like they're in crises. That's the first thing they're going to hit you with. They down and out, wore out. Please help me. Help me, please. Somebody, anybody, help me. Okay? Crises. Be mindful of that. They also, because you got the heart, that energy that you came through is that 9, which is so emotional and compassionate. They're also going to try to guilt you. Yeah. Guilt you. And then also overload you with feelings that ain't yours. But because you feel deeply for people, now you sitting there wore out and it don't even got nothing to do with you. Okay? So the doorway that your enemy is going to take is through your soft heart. Okay? And your emotional body. And so what the enemy does, and remember, I don't know if y'all heard this, an enemy can be a person, can be a pattern, can be a spirit, can be a behavior. It's going to twist that 9 energy that is the, as I said, the soft heart, that is compassionate, that wants to heal, and turn that into burden. Okay? They're going to turn that into fatigue and turn that into you caretaking. And so they're going to come for your emotions first and overload you, but they're going to come as a victim. That's what you need to watch out for. They're going to come needing help. Please, I'm so out and wore out. So that's when we got to watch. Your next number is your soul nature. This is going to tell us how they destabilize who you truly are. And this is where we get the most conflict. How they destabilize you. So you got a number 1. So let me tell you what your enemies attack. Your identity, your sense of self, your self-trust, your confidence, your independence. They are going to try to make you question yourself. You could know, be clear, be ready, and then here they come. Are you sure about that? How you know that? Well, you know, last time. Make you question yourself. They also will isolate you, want to separate you, even want to talk to you away from everybody else. Don't want to be talking to you around other people. They want to isolate you. Because the 1, honey, is the first in their in life, and the 1 comes to be seen. Okay, they will make you feel unseen, dismiss you, right? Challenge your value. Because you came here to stand tall. They're going to try to push you into shrinking yourself. If you think about the times where you had a breakdown with somebody played you, something, think about it. The biggest blow was because there was a question of your identity, your character. Made you doubt that, made you doubt your sense of self, doubt your independence. And that's when we get off kilter. All right? Yeah. One is the I am. So anything that you say, you are. They try to question it. They just said, it's true. Okay? Your next number is a 7. So when you got that 7, this is in your ancestral current. So this is how the enemy, your enemy, hits your bloodline. All right? And the responses through enemy attacks that you inherited. So when you have a 7, that is, you come from a lineage of intuition, of prophets, of seers, of mystics, right? Of those also who were dreamers and who also were in solitude and knew how to be in solitude and listen and use their silence to connect. But those folks also had deep inner wounds. Nothing that you could see by looking at them or interacting with them, but deep, way down, way down, way down, right in your what they call it, in your crawl. Okay. Deep wounds. And so the enemy is gonna try to attack this current because 7 is spiritual, right? So the enemy is gonna try to cloud your intuition. Your intuition ancestrally is clouded through your anxiety, clouding the thoughts, being confusing, mixed signaling. We already talked about that one with isolation. 7 is also the number of the sabbatical, the mystic, right? So they will come back and try to isolate you. So you got a double isolation attempt in your current. So you got to watch that. Okay? And they'll trigger you to make you feel like you aren't connected to spirit. That they know better than you know. Well, that's impossible. The fact that you think you know what's best for me better than I know what's best for me is really an indication of your ego. Right. And so, because they isolate you, because they cloud your intuition, then they're going to make you be afraid of trusting your own voice. And now in your mind, when it was downloads and messaging and you were clear, now it just feels like you got a lot of noise. Because you got that line of mystics, the line of watchers and studiers. Enemies try to blind that inner eye. If they can get you to believe that you're disconnected, that's how they get you. Okay? Because that's how they have affected your people. Now, when we talk about your divine mission number, how they try to disrupt that. They try to block your destiny. Okay? Yeah, they block your destiny because you got that 8. And 8 means that you, now hear this good. 8 means that you're destined for power. 8 means that you are destined for authority. 8 means that you are destined for financial mastery. Okay? That's your destiny. 8 means that you are going to elevate generationally. Your generation is not a down step. You are an upgrade from the successes of your previous generation. So they're going to come at you with that self-doubt. They're going to come at you with power struggles and battles with authority. Right? Authority figures blindsiding you, triggering you, making you fear how much money you're going to have, make you fear about what about my financial stability. Yeah. Make you question your worth. I done put in all of this time and this effort, and now you make me think that I'm not worth a damn. Okay? So, 8 mission like yours, you are here to rise. That's what you're here. Here to rise. So, your enemy, that anti-energy, that thought, that pattern, that person, them people, what they are, they want you tired. Tired, unsure, and believing that you're unable. But the gag is you're stacked in your numbers because you got a weapon of discernment and of personal authority. And so, looking at your numbers again, that 9 gives you that emotional intelligence. So you can sense and feel what they feel about you. That number 1 is going to give you a clear spark and a clear direction. That 7 is going to give you the sight of a prophet. And that 8 is going to give you the power to command. And so the moment you trust your intuition and you center yourself and you remove those people that are emotional parasites from you and you stand in what you know, you see what other people miss. So that means you are able to shift before they even happen. All right? You know the shifts. You can feel it coming. And if you can feel the shift coming, you can prepare yourself. Right? Combine that, and you cannot be defeated. Thank you, Deja. Is the lie in the building, y'all? And also, I'm also streaming on YouTube. So if y'all need to come and watch the replay, you can. Is the lie in the... I'm looking for the lie. Not one. No, not one. No, not one. No, not one. No, not one. If your vibrato ain't like that, I don't want to hear it. No, not one. You don't got the Holy Ghost. If that vibrato ain't going, I don't want to hear it. Thank you, Deja. Listen, it's the enemy that we can't see that bites us. But as soon as we're able to identify, baby, we ain't taking no L's. The time of losing has passed. Naquazi, then I got Felicia, then Alicia, then Kiara. No, not one. No, not one. No, not one. Not one. It's gonna log me in like it's supposed to. All right, Naquazi, what's your birthday? Look to your neighbor and say, no, not one. No, not one. 9/14, 1995. Okay. Is that right? 1995. 9/14. Enter my pen. What's my pen? Let me add this together. No, not one. Don't get me going. No, not one. No, not one. No, 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 not one. I don't know what y'all gotta say, but I'll say no, 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 no. Not one. Jesus. Oh, yeah, I will. I will definitely do that. Come on, careers. Yeah, we can do that. Okay. All right, Nakwasi. Baby, you know the people are really saved when they be right here. Felicia, stop that. You know the people really be saved when they be right here. When they get in that ear and they go, I don't know. I just feel like it immediately upgrades the level of oil. You started off with canola, and now it's peanut. Huh? From olive to grapeseed. Come on, grapeseed. All right. So let's go for it here. Nakwasi. Oh, your sacred count is 9, 5, 6. Woo! And master number 11. 9, 5, 6, and 11. For those that are tuning in, these are the numbers. This is from a system of Afro numerology that I created. And I do have a book coming out on it. Excuse me. And the sacred count is essentially your spiritual social security number. So yours is 9, 5, 6, and 11. All right. So for you, 9, you got that 9 birth gate, similar to the sister woman right before you. The 9 birth gate is the gate of emotional overload. That's how they get you. They're going to overwhelm your emotions, interrupt your emotions, take your emotions from 0 to hero, and also make you tired. You're like, I'm just wore out. Because 9 is the healer, 9 is the humanitarian, 9 is the helper, 9 is the burden bearer. Okay? And so they're going to drain you. They want to overwhelm you with their problems. Nakwasi. Here you come. Here they come. Here they come. 500 things is wrong today. They want to overwhelm you. What does the lady say? They want to scavenge you. They want to believe you. They want to scandalize your name. That lady took me out. Okay? And because you are a giver, They're going to get you to overgive. Now you like, now hold on. Now I helped you here. And now you need me to, I gave you one ride today. And now I'm giving you a ride every day. And you still ain't gave me no gas. Mm-hmm. Then you be like, well, she is living pillar to post. She do really need to get to work. She don't have this, she don't have, and then now you in a situation. Okay? And then they're gonna keep you in a cycle that ain't your cycle. Don't got nothing to do with you. But they keep you in an emotional cycle. You're like, now I'm mad for you. I'm crying and this ain't even my problem. I'm sad and this ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm pissed off and this ain't got nothing to do with me. All right? And because 9 likes to take on and help and take responsibility, they then make you responsible for too much. So all that softness and that wisdom that you carry and you being so spiritually open, they take that, put that thing in a headlock, and all of a sudden you feel burdened, you feel heavy, you feel exhausted. Okay? And so what makes you susceptible is you caring too deeply for people who don't care back. All right? That's the vulnerability. Caring too deeply for people that don't care back. Let's move on to your soul nature. That is the essence of who you are. At your core, you're a 5. All right? 5 is movement. 5 can be chaotic. 9 also can be chaotic. So this is kind of going to speak to both. 9 is transitions and endings, right? 9 also brings grief too. But that 5, because it's movement, they're going to target your movement. They want to restrict you. Moving up in a company, moving out, moving over. They want to stop your movement. They want to block your clarity. All right? They want to interrupt your freedom and interrupt your focus and your nervous system. 5 rules the nervous system. Okay? So they're going to want to scatter you, come at you, and overwhelm you 500 different things. Have your directions going, your focus going in these different directions. Want to try to distract you, create chaos around you. Or they come and they give you all these options and you can't pick or you don't know which one to choose. And if they can make you restless and impulsive, they interrupt your flow. And at the essence of who you are meant to flow. And so if they can turn that freedom you got into instability, then you're going to feel trapped and you're going to feel restless and you're going to feel confused and your enemy is going to feel successful. Okay? The ancestral current that you have is a 6. Jesus. So when you got a 6, you got a long lineage of caregivers, people who knew how to take care of home, people that were nurturers, people that were that battled emotional stability, people that were just so of service. That's exactly how I've been feeling lately. There's an enemy, and that enemy could be a thought, it could be a whatever, but that's how you're being. That's how they getting you. But I'm gonna tell you your power in a second, but that's gonna be how you get yourself back together. So because you got that 6, your enemy attacks your bloodline by manipulating your loyalty. Mm-hmm. Yeah, manipulate your loyalty. Do wrong and then act like you calling them out, or their response is you all of a sudden not being down. Uh-huh. Let me tell you something else about this 6. They come around and get to your family. So when you got that 6 current, you got to be careful of letting friends commingle with people you call your family. Because they will come in and try to sow seeds of division amongst the family, whether it's your biological family or your found family. But outside forces trying to sow seeds of division amongst the family, that's going to get to you because you got that 6 current. All right? And then they're going to make you feel like you got to put on the cape and save everybody. Yeah. And because you got that 6 current, it has a theme of I must take care of everything. So the enemy easily hits you through an emotional obligation. So that's when you got to say, child, none of my business. Okay? Laurel told Effie, you got the same wig I got? Yeah. You got the same dress I got? Yeah. Then shut up. Okay? So the enemy will try to block your mission. This is your last number. You got a master number 11. So I need you to pay attention to this. Master number 11 is the highest spiritual number. Period. Okay? Master number 11 makes you an antenna. So you got a destiny that centers revelation, truth-telling, divine insight. All right? Elevated consciousness work. 11 is a visionary. So when you got that master number 11, enemies will try to block this by overwhelming your intuition. Yeah. They're going to interrupt that intuition, overwhelm you. If they can clog your channel, then you could get burned out. The master number 11 is kind of like, that machine that they put the glass on and got electricity flying everywhere. And when you touch it, it's like electricity. Imagine that, but then you take the glass off. That's the master number 11. All right? So if they can fill your antenna, your mind, your head up with fear or negative thoughts, they can overstimulate you. So when you are in a back and forth with somebody, or you're addressing an issue, don't let them come at you and try to talk about everything you've ever done. Stop their ass and say one thing at a time. Let's talk about this. Let's break this down. Let's talk about each thing at once, because y'all start to overwhelm me, tell me all of this stuff, and then now I can't think. Now I don't know what to say. Now I don't forgot my point. Now I'm pissed. No. Your mission is to be clear and to see clearly. So they're going to try to distort your vision. So you got to make sure that you keep your head cleansed. If you have your sage, whatever you use to smudge yourself, you need to keep your crown cleansed. You need to keep some coconut oil. Okay? Moisturizing your scalp, moisturizing your head. All right? Your forehead. Because the warfare is through confusion and your anxiety. That's you being overstimulated. But let me tell you how you win. You win because of this combination of numbers here. This 9, this 5, this 6, this 11 gives you a clairvoyant freedom. Clock it. That 9 is what gives you your wisdom. That 5 is what gives you adaptability and movement. That 6 is what grounds you, a heart-centered grounding. And that 11 is what gives you your divine insight. So you gonna win. You win when you trust your intuition. You win when you move away from people that's draining you, right? When you disentangle yourself from guilt. That's how you win. You win when you honor your need to move. If you feel like I got to shift environments, you got to honor that. That's how you win. Okay? When you learn how to honor and listen to that inner voice first, that's how you win. All right? You see truth, you move forward with truth. It's like you're spiritually aerodynamic. Come on, SAT word, aerodynamic. So when you choose clarity, baby, nothing gonna stick to you. All right? So you need to center yourself, ground yourself, and get back to listening to that intuition. If you feel blocked and you don't know what's going on, cleanse the head. Cleanse the head first. It's been challenging because I feel so guilty when I step back from people. And listen, that thought, that's the enemy. That's an enemy thought. Because you're stepping back. Because your divine sight is telling you you need to step back. And guilt is a cover emotion. I dare you to explore what is the emotion beneath that. Guilt tends to be a facade. And guilt is hard to work through because we don't know what the real emotion is. Guilt is normally a disguise. So what is it? Are you upset? Are you angry at them? Are you sad for them? Are you angry at you? What is it? Explore that. Because guilt be like, we don't know how to deal with guilt because we don't really know what it is. Okay? So check that. You got this, Nakwasi. Okay? Next, I got Felicia. Then I got Alicia. Then I got Kiara. Good morning. Who is this? Hi, Mel. Good morning. Felicia. Felicia said, don't forget my spread. Read from last month. Don't forget my spread. Read from last month. What from last month? Was I was supposed to send you something? Oh, the recording. Matter of fact, since I got you on the line, let me send your stuff right on down. Hold on. We interrupt this program to bring you a brief intermission. Drive, meet recordings. Yep. Yo. No. Oh, no, that's not her. Oh, Lord, this thing want me to put a puzzle up here. Try again. They're like, you've been on this live too long. Y'all don't run my live, sweetie. Kim, Martha, Kim, Raven, Constance, Melinda. Kim, who is this? Jan. Who is this? Is this Felicia? Yes, it is. Okay. And share copy. Felicia Michelle. Yeah. All right. I just shared it to you. Now I'm gonna do it right now because I'm doing it right now. You'll be back on the next live. Like, tell me, say what you do, man. Let me run to the restroom real quick, y'all. Hold on 1 second. You can be strong. Look to you. Okay, I'm back. I'm back. All right. Here we go, Felicia. Ding, 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 ding. Okay, now let's look. Now that I got that out the way. Let's see. 4, that's your birth date. 4 day is the 30th, so it's 4, 3. Ancestral current, 1 plus 9 plus 7 plus 5. That's that mass number 22. Jesus, 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 Jesus. Yep. Woo! Master number 22. Please let me hold $5. Ooh, y'all master number 22. Y'all got a big mission around legacy building. Okay. Y'all better invest in with Felicia. Praise the Lord. All right. Okay. And you have a divine mission of a master number 11. So 4, 3, 22, 11. You got 2 master numbers. So as I've said before, you are a big deal. Okay. All right. So when you got 4, 4 is the number of stability. 4 is routine. 4 is grounding. 4 is foundational. Okay. You know what, Felicia? Thank you for the $5. Listen, that's a what they say. That's a seed. Thank you for sowing a seed. Okay, come on, seed. $5. I appreciate it. Times is hard. Times is hard. Good ground. Oh, Jesus, 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 Jesus. I receive it. All right, so your enemy is gonna attack you. How they enter the doorway. Just how they come in. Sudden chaos. Sudden chaos. Unexpected disruptions. Sudden changes. We got a structure. We got a routine. We know what's happening. And you come and throw a monkey wrench in. Right? Also through financial stress. Suddenly. Yeah. Right? Your foundation, stability, interrupting your routines. because 4 is such a stabilizer. They overwhelm you with responsibilities. Try to make you responsible for stuff that you're not responsible for. Okay? Yeah. And then the next thing they're going to do is try to create disorder in your environment. Yeah. Disorder in your environment because you thrive on order and routine and structure. And so you as a 4, you need firm ground, firm foundation. And so when the enemy is going to come and try to shake that ground. And so if they can interrupt your foundation, then they feel like they can destabilize you. That's how they enter in. First thing they're going to try to come for, Jesus. They're going to try to destabilize you. You got your routine, they entering in with chaos. Changing your schedule, changing your plan. No. Your interruption is a new thing. You will not interrupt what my plan is. I'm going forth with the plan, with you or without you. I'm going to finish my plan, and then I could see you at the while in my free time. Matter of fact, I'll schedule your crisis in. How about that? I'll schedule your crisis in. How about that? Because that's how they do. They need to throw you. And when we move on to your soul nature number, what I do in my notepad? Yeah, which is a 3. 3 is expressive. 3 rules communication. 3 rules creativity. 3 rules it's expression. It's all expression. So the first thing that the enemy is going to do, now this is where we're normally most triggered at. First thing that an enemy is going to do is try to silence you. Okay? They're going to try to silence you. They're going to target your voice. They're going to twist your words so that it sounds like you were wrong or it benefits them. Okay? You're going to be trying to express yourself and they'll do something to shame you for expressing yourself. Okay? Enemies of you will create miscommunication, discommunication. All right? Intentionally. And if they can cloud your emotional clarity, then they can make you feel misunderstood and dismissed. The 3 soul is meant to be bright and honest. And so the enemy will try to dim your voice. And your emotional expression, that is your life force. So the first thing they're going to do, they're going to try to choke that flow. So you got to be more committed to the truth than you are the circumstance or the situation or the agreement. It got to be founded in truth. Okay? That's how they attack you and try to destabilize your selfhood. And so as we move to your ancestral current number, which is the master number 22. This is heavy. The 22 is heavy. Heavy. Jesus, 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 Jesus. It's heavy. All right? Because 22 is the master builder. Oh, yeah, let me put that right on over here. Excuse me. Yes, 22 is the master builder. And so this is about your lineage, what you inherited from your lineage. Okay? You inherited. Hey, John, that's why I couldn't answer your call because I was on live, John. Okay? Check the socials. You check everything else. John has my calendar. And so John be knowing, but I don't have this on my calendar, so it's on me. It's on me, John. So you know what? I need to start putting this on my calendar. Forgive me. But this was a spare of the moment. John is like, why don't you? What's happening here? Why are you not answering the line? So, Felicia, that ancestral current, that's that master number 22. So this means that ancestrally, you inherited, a power and a mission from your ancestors around generational building. So you gotta understand that your ancestors picked you to build something that's going to outlive you and outlast you. Okay? That gives you also pressure, of course. And so you carry an energy of missions, big missions that your ancestors had that they didn't complete and they wanted to, but it wasn't for them to complete, right? For whatever reason, they're supposed to, they would have, but that's what they wanted to do. All right. And also, you inherited trauma around having major responsibilities. Okay. Because that master number 22 is a strong version of that number 4. And so you really got that. You were 22/4, but we normally don't reduce the master numbers. We honor them because they're powerful. Okay. So you be brilliant, but you be burnt out. Okay. So it's about balancing that. And so that means that the enemy is going to attack you by overwhelming pressure, too much pressure. Now, I want to remind you that the enemy can be a person, a pattern, or a thought, right? A thought pattern, a behavior pattern, a spirit, whatever you want to call it. This is what opposes you. So overwhelming pressure. Give you expectations that are just impossible. This is an impossible expectation. You give yourself an impossible expectation. Hold yourself to an impossible standard. Okay? And making you feel responsible for fixing everything. And that gives you the burnout, right? And really, because that's such a big mission, right? And as we talked about the trauma around major responsibilities, this 22, they're going to attack you by dropping a seed of failure. You sure that's going to work out? But what if you get there and then all this, I don't know. I'm not saying you shouldn't do it. But, ain't no time. Maybe you just need to wait. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Heard that before moving to Thailand. Dear God. Yeah. Okay. Oh, I want you to wait. Yeah. And so when the enemy sees that current, sees that trait, picks up that energy. Hear this. They will say things to activate an ancestral memory of collapse. They want you to feel like you got to rebuild everything alone. That's what they're doing. And that's why it hits hard. Because it's ancestral. Thin line between prophecy and manipulation. Dear God, dear God, dear God, dear God, dear God. How they interrupt your divine mission. Because you got that master number 11. And you got to hear this. That is the mission of divine sight. That's the strongest spiritual energy. Okay. That is, you mentioned prophecy. Divine mission is centered in prophecy. It's centered in that elevated thinking, that elevated consciousness. And so the enemies will try to attack you by overwhelming your mind. Too many things to think about. Your intuition, that channel, filling it with noise. Clog your channel. And by clogging your channel, they make you doubt what you know spiritually. And what that creates is an emotional overstimulation. Overstimulated. And your power with that 11 is perception. So be mindful that the greatest, as there's 11 people in here right now, the greatest trick that the enemy will try to pull on you is try to distort your lens of how you see the circumstance, the situation, or yourself. Because if you can't see, you can't lead. But here's Jesus. So how you win? And this is what they can't take. You got a weapon of sacred construction. And it is a powerful blend because your 4 gives you structure. That 3, that's your expression and your communication. That 22 is the energy of the master builder. And that 11 has a divine mission. So you can see spiritually. And you can speak clearly. And you can build practically. And you can withstand pressure. And so when there's chaos, you also can put order to chaos. And so your ability to receive and manifest it in the physical world. It is equal parts architect and prophet. And so here it is. Your enemy's energy collapses when you step into your mission. Bonds have to break, have to fall apart, because you bring order to every environment you enter. And if something's wrong, that 11 will reveal the disorder. And that will cause the collapse. And the enemy will either have to, no, they'll have to flee. So let's either get away from you or you getting away from them. Okay. Just looking at the numbers. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's all. I'm just looking at the numbers. That's it. Okay. So no, you will not defeat me through pressure and confusion. No. You'll not defeat me with narratives. No. You won't. You won't do it, not to me. Thank you, Felicia. I got Alicia, Kiara, and then I got Shayna. Hi, Alicia. Thank you for holding on and waiting, honey. Y'all staying up late with me and things. Ow. Ew. I think that was pretty good, Felicia. We got some clarity. You are so welcome. You are welcome. Remember, the replay is on YouTube. So if you need to hear it again, it's there. You recorded it. Okay. Good. Felicia said, let me just hit the screen record and call it a day. Got it. Alicia, are you here? Oh, my Lord. Where is my... Oh, yeah. Were you on YouTube? Yeah. You're on YouTube. 9:20:79. Okay. Alicia said, I'm still here. I ain't going nowhere. All right. Let's see. Alicia, you put in the comments. What did you say? So glad I made it. 9:20:79. Why I get on here and I get real churchy? I swear I don't sing none of these songs till I come on here. So glad you know what? That's one of the things too. When it comes to sipping and sitting in gratitude. Come on, sipping and sit. What you sipping on? What is you sipping on? You know, I love gospel music. I do. It's the theatrics. Some Patron. Okay, Alicia. Now, I thought Alicia's gonna be like, a little wine. Baby, she said Patron on the rocks. Come on, Patron. I was not ready. You got whiskey? Okay, so what is going on? Man, It's me. It's my fault. I'm not in alignment. Clearly, everybody got their drinks and stuff, and I'm just sitting here. Yes, definitely on the rocks. I'm just sitting here drinking unsweetened sparkling water. It's been a long week. I understand. Okay, no judgment, no judgment. I understand. It's so interesting. There's a lot of nines coming in here today. So, Alicia, here we go. So your count here, because you're 920, 79. So your count is 9, 2, 8, and 1. 9, 2, 8, 1. That's your sacred count. Okay? And so let's get into it. As with the other nines you might have heard, that's probably why it resonated with you. The doorway, how they enter in, is going to be through your heart. Y'all nines, when y'all got a 9, I swear to God, if your 9 is anywhere in your birth month, your birthday, your birth year, as when you reduce those numbers, if a 9 appear in anywhere, I'm telling you, be careful of the patients. Be careful of the, you thinking it's a partner and it's a patient. Okay? Be careful of the people in crisis. Because they're coming to drain your heart. You got to have the appropriate boundaries. You can help, but it got to be reciprocal. Okay? They're going to try to drain your heart, Alicia. Okay? Same thing. Drain your heart. They're going to try to make you feel guilty. Give you the sob story. Have it ready. They're going to do that. They're going to keep you in a cycle. Also, 9 governs endings and transitions. So you know what else they do? Come to you with the same problem, or say they got the same problem with you. Same issues, doing the same thing, and keep you stuck in a cycle. I'm a 9 soul nature, so I feel that deeply. Keep you in a cycle that you was already finished with. Some enemies will try to come back and bring you a conversation that you was already over and through with. But it's the attempt to cycle you. God, I don't know why that's just hit me. Because I can think of, woo, jeez, several times in my life where they have brought me back around to the same shit that I knew that I done came out of. Or we already dealt with this. And now you coming back to me with the same shit. So because you're so wise, right? When you got that 9, people always say that you're old soul. They're like, oh yeah, you've been here before. Yes. 9 is the number of the elder. 9 is the wise woman, the wise man. Okay? Soft and caring and open. And it's just when you say it, we can hear it, and you're healing. Every time I talk to you, you're healing me. Yeah, I'm working. And that's the problem. And so what they'll do is they'll wear you out. All their problems you solving. Now you're not focusing on you. God. You're not focusing on you and what you need to complete. You're too busy being captain, save, and solve a whole. Excuse me. You know, if you say excuse me, it don't matter. Me and my friends have a running bit that we could call somebody all types of things, as long as we say excuse me. Then it's like, oh, excuse you. And it just makes it okay. You double wide hog-headed mother. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse you. It's okay. That's all you gotta do is say excuse me. All of a sudden makes it all right. Okay. So if your heart becomes tired, Alicia, your whole system slows down. Y'all been trying to kill me from day one. Day one, y'all been trying to kill me. Let's move forward. I have noticed that pattern and have been standing on business recently, been feeling so light. You've been knocking your enemy upside the head. Clock it. Clock that. I know people do this. Clock it. We clocking it. At 100 miles. Let me go ahead and clock this at 100 miles per hour. Now, here's where you got a double portion, Alicia. Your soul nature number is a 2. And so we're looking at how did they destabilize you, Alicia. So is that Poe? Is that who I think it is? I spotted it. I think that's Poe. Oh, I mean to interrupt Alicia's reading. Hey, Poe. I was like, I spotted her. So you have that soul nature of 2, Alicia. And this is how your enemy, remember, an enemy is not always a person. An enemy is a thought, too. An enemy can be a pattern. It can be a behavior. So sometimes it's not about trying to target the person or target the thing. It's a person is what I'm saying. Sometimes we'd be looking for people. Sometimes it's you, right? And so that 2 that you got there as your soul nature, your enemy is going to attack you through your relationships. 2 is the number of partnerships. All right. 2 is also connected to your emotional body. So you get destabilized when you are emotionally imbalanced. When you got that 2, and you can confirm this with your life, did you have a life experience where you were caught between 2 people all the time? 2 families, 2 parents, 2 different sets of friends, 2 different situations, always having to be in the middle and the liaison. I'm gonna wait on it. I'm gonna wait on your comment. She said, yes, exclamation point, exclamation point. Okay. Yes. That's a part of that. That's that too. You said always. And so that too is also that they will intentionally try to misunderstand you. Okay. Yeah. Misunderstand you. Because 2, clock it. Poe said Alicia, the medium, the mediator, the middle woman. Yes. Yeah. And so what they will do is, and you also have to be careful about having folks in the midst of your relationships, right? Sometimes you got to learn all the friends can't be together. Everybody don't need to hang out with everybody. Okay? Because they also will get to you by causing tension, between the people that you care about. And you see how that puts you in that indecisive, can't pick a side, trying to be on the fence, and that is destabilizing you because that interrupts your peace. And then that pulls you into conflict. All right? Because you are coded, divinely coded, to be in partnership. Okay? And to be in partnership. You got to be mindful of attracting codependent people. We also talked about your 9, that healer, that compassion, that wise one. You gonna get you a patient. You're gonna naturally attract patients. All right? So be mindful in the ways that you have a tendency to lean to codependency, and also people be codependent upon you. Paul said, leave the leeches alone. Leave them alone, Alicia, because the 2 is about harmony. It centers harmony and balance. And so the enemy will turn that harmony into an inner conflict because it's about your emotional body. Okay? Why we're doing this is it's a proverb that I wrote. It's a part of my ancestral cards. I had a dream one time that I went in my backyard and there was 2 snakes. I didn't see the second snake. I saw one snake rise up and look at me. And I was looking at this snake and I was focused on this snake, that I didn't see this snake across the yard that slithered across quick and actually bit me. And that dream birthed the proverb, the snake you can see doesn't bite. That equally means I can see this from a comment or a space of distraction. But what that does mean that as long as I can see what the enemy is, I can maneuver and do what I need to do to keep myself protected. So if we can identify the way our energies are naturally opposed, we know what we need to do to protect ourselves and pivot. Let's look at your ancestral current. You have an 8 in that ancestral current. All right? The ancestral current is connected to the bloodline. Oh. You see me in a fight with a snake? Help the snake, because that bitch gonna need it. Oh, for real. It's how the enemy hits your bloodline. This 8 is directly connected to your ancestry and what you inherited from your ancestors. So you have a lineage that is centered in authority and power and karmic lessons. Now, when I view karmic lessons, some people like, I done lived 500 lifetimes, and so this is from my lifetime when I was a princess in Scotland. I'm not talking about that. In this Black system that we got here called the NUMBAS, when I speak about karmic, I'm speaking about things from your lineage, right? Things that are passed down, thought patterns, behaviors, energies that are passed down from your ancestry, all right? So you have a lineage that's full of lessons surrounding that. 8 is also connected to abundance and money and financial mastery. So this is money and survival as well, all right? 8 is also connected heavily to our ego and also to our control center and our responsibility. So your enemy is going to trigger you by challenging your power. They attack your lineage by challenging your power. Because 8 is also financial. Money fears. Jesus. What they say, Jesus. All right? If they can convince you that there is instability, or they can create some type of instability for you, it's going to hit you in an ancestral place. So when you find yourself being triggered, you got to know that what they're doing is they're waking up a memory. Okay? So watch that. Watch for how they try to undermine your authority. Watch for how they want to try to make you feel inadequate and unworthy. Because when you have that 8 in that ancestral current position, that's going to create a generational pressure for you. So they're going to try to hit your lineage through fear and dominance and also exhaustion. Because 8 is connected to power and also work. Lastly, we got your divine mission, which is the number 1. Okay? And I live for a number 1 mission. Because that means your destiny is centered in you being your goddamn self. And doing what you feel you need to do, how you need to do it. And standing in your identity and in your self-trust and in your independence and in you as a trailblazer. So guess what they're going to do to try to block your mission? Confuse your sense of self. You have to know who you are. All right? Be so in love and so in awareness of yourself that can't nobody confuse you about you. They will try to make you feel small. Right? Try to make you have this clear vision, and they will try to make you doubt your decision. And be like, nah, you don't know what you think you know, and yeah. Okay? And making you feel like you don't got the will to complete it. Okay? And so when you got that mission, Alicia, you are meant to stand tall. And the enemy is going to try to make you second guess who you are. And if you doubt yourself, it's not that you will not, because I don't believe people get up out of here and they don't complete their mission. I think you do. Now, what side of it, you land on the positive of your number or the negative of your number, that's on you. But I think it will slow your path if you doubt yourself. But you can beat them easy because your 9 is where you get your emotional wisdom. Your 2 gives you that intuitive connection. Your 8 gives you power and authority. And that 1 gives you identity. And so you win when you trust your intuition. Even when your intuition tells you something that you don't want to do, you win when you trust it. You also win when you stand on business. Whatever your decision is, you standing on it. You win there. You also win when you protect your emotional boundaries. You win. All right? And clock this. Leading from compassion without letting compassion lead you into exhaustion. Let me say that again. Leading with compassion without letting compassion lead you into exhaustion. All right? And because you got that 9 strong, When you recognize that a cycle is complete, you got to allow it to close. Your enemies cannot defeat someone who knows who they are and protects their energy. Okay, Alicia. Thank you. I got Kiara and then I got Shayna. Thank you for that confirmation. You are welcome. Walt B. Hey, oh my God. How are you? I have not seen you in a long time. Thank you. What they say in Church of God in Christ? Well, I honor you. Such an inspiration. I can't say long. Can't say long, but you're such a light. Thank you. I thank you. I honor you. Honor. Baby, they love honoring somebody. I honor you. No. I honor you. Hey, finally caught you on here since I have followed you. Come on. You see how they try to shut me down. Kiara, are you still here? Kiara probably fell asleep, child. Kiara, are you on here, Kiara? Mm-hmm. Ooh. Hey. She normally be on YouTube. Honey, some tell me she probably done fell out. Jesus. We'll give her some more time and then I'm going to do Shayna. And then I'll put Kiara at the top when I go live again. Let me just give her some more time. Now, y'all, while I'm here, let me tell y'all what I discovered. Child. Since I'm in this Afro numerology realm, y'all, I done discovered a pattern to the serial killers. I done discovered how to break down the whole why, how, when, what of the serial killers. So I may gotta do a series, but for my forensic friends. And what they are likely to do. Child, you gotta watch. Okay, I think Kiara done fell asleep. So we're gonna bless her. We honor you, Kiara. We honor you. And I will put her at the top. But I'm going to have to go ahead and go with Shayna. Shayna, are you here? We honor you. I just hate doing people's readings when they're not here. Shayna. Earth to Shayna. Shayna to Earth. Thank you. Shayna, where are you at, girl? Where's Shayna comment at initially? Thank you. Oh, my allergy, excuse me, y'all. Well, one of them gonna have to pop on. I need Shayna. Oh, I see you now, Shayna. They try to block you. All right, I see you now. What's your birthday, Shayna? Oh. Hang all the mistletoes. I'm gonna get to know you better. 5/27/1992. Okay. This Christmas. Oh, 4/27. Okay. I'm finna say, yeah, that's a big difference. Then you're gonna be looking at me like, now, Darcel, you're not telling the truth. Then I'm gonna be wrong. Okay, come on, calculator. All right. Birth date, you're April, so it's 4. So nature, 2 + 7. 1992. No, it's not 2, 3. Mission 7. Got it. All right. Here your spiritual social security number. 4937. 4937. Not the whistle. 7. 4937. All right. Remember this, y'all. You can write this sacred count on your workings. It's connected to the soul. So let me tell you about this. Your birth gate number. This is how the enemies come into you and knock their door. They enter your doorway. 4 is the number of foundation and routine. So the first thing they're going to do is disrupt your routine, disrupt your flow, right? You get attacked through instability. All right? So the enemy is going to come and try to shake your structure. They want to interrupt the routine, interrupt the plans. You already got a vision for something. Here they come with an unexpected problem. You're like, now, where did this come from? They're always going to try to knock you out of your rhythm. Okay? Always going to try to knock you out of your rhythm. And so because 4 is so reliable, and so responsible, they're going to overwhelm you with responsibilities. So watch out for sabotage with work. No. These are these are the things that is in alignment. I fell asleep. Yeah, Kiara, I was waiting on you, girl. I said you fell asleep. Try to stay up. Because I did Shayna's. I'm on Shayna's. And if you still up, I can do yours. So stay up. I know. You immediately next. So they're going to bring disorder to your environment. So be careful of people entering your life and they all over the place. And they messy, right? And they don't got no structure. You need grounding and predictability, right? You need that flow. So the enemy enters in and tries to turn your world into stress and disarray. Remember, if your peace feels collapsed, it is because your stability has collapsed. Okay? So if they can collapse your stability, if they can collapse your stability, they can collapse your peace. Clock that. Your soul nature. Yeah, so this is how they destabilize you. So you got to clock it. Baby, it's that damn 9. They gonna target your compassion. They gonna target your heart. They gonna target your wisdom. They gonna target your sensitivity. They're gonna target your natural desire to help and heal. They're gonna target that. And so they're gonna be asking you for stuff and guilt trip you into over giving, over excusing, over extending. They're going to overload you with emotional weight. They're going to trigger old pain. Now, why y'all talking about that? Because what their goal is to pull you back into a cycle. Woo! So that 9 soul nature is attacked through burden. Okay? If they can weigh you down emotionally, they can weigh you down. They can slow you down spiritually. Yeah. Let's look at your ancestral current number. This is a 3. So this is how the enemy hits your bloodline. 3 is the number of the voice. 3 is the number of creativity. 3 is a communicator. 3 is childish. In a good way, it can be a bad way, but also it's really a good way. 3 is so joy-centered. 3 is it's a storyteller. And so they hit your lineage. You carry a generational memory, an ancestral memory of being silenced, an ancestral memory of your words being twisted, right? Of a blocking of expression, ancestors who could not express, right? Of ancestors who were made to feel misunderstood. Shutting down ancestors whose creativity was shut down, right? And so you got a generational wound of not being heard. And so the enemies go after that wound first. Misunderstand you, silence you, try to confuse you. All right? Do not be confused. You can always cut through confusion with the truth. That's a major weapon when you got that 3. Your divine mission is a 7. Oh, Jesus, that's mine. So I'm going to be talking about you and me. That's why I can talk about you. So you got that ancestral current, that divine mission of a 7. And so that is a path of spiritual mastery. You are supposed to be not a yogi, but close. Something like that. A priestess, spiritual master. Okay? And so that's a path of solitude. That's a path of intuition. That's a path of divine truth and discernment and deep, deep introspection. So an enemy try to stop your mission by trying to close that line to spirit. Ooh. Make you doubt. Flood your mind with noise so you can't think straight. The enemy tries to fight the 7 internally. So confusing your intuition. You know your intuition is saying this, and here they come with a different message or tell you that you misunderstood that. They also try to stop you by pulling you away from your spiritual practices. Remember, it's not just people, it's also thoughts, right? And isolating you in ways that's not healthy. Solitude and being alone are 2 separate things. Okay? And if they can get you to feel disconnected from source, disconnected from spirit, they feel that they've won. So your mission is about clarity and a quiet knowing. That just touched me. Yeah. Yeah. So your enemy will try to disrupt the silence. So when your inner voice becomes clouded, your mission feels out of reach. All right? So your weapon is your 4 grounds you. You got an intuitive emotional wisdom. That 4 grounds you. That 9 gives you that emotional intelligence. That 3 gives you that clarity, expressive clarity. And that 7 gives you discernment. And so you can feel the truth. You can hear the truth. You can speak the truth, and you can stand on the truth. And you win through your emotional boundaries. You win through your intuition. Listen to that feeling or that voice. You win through honest expression. You win through spiritual insight. That's how you win. You gotta know that your stillness is a strength, Shayna. You don't always have to do stuff, but sometimes your greatest weapon is just being. Most of your breakthroughs and revelations come when nobody's talking to you. Comes in silence. Be mindful of how you always want to have something on TV, always want to be listening to something, always need to have noise. That's not actually helping you. Okay? So when you decide, here it is. When you this is good. when you decide to step back and withdraw and regroup and listen to spirit, your enemies fall apart. Thank you, Shayna. It's like, oh, let me go ahead and go quiet. You're welcome. Okay. Kiara, you here? Send me your birthday. Now, if you done fell asleep again, I'm coming at you with a flying sidekick. You're welcome. Listen, the snake we can see, don't bite. All right. Give me the year. Gotcha. All right. Let me close this because this is the end. This is the end. But nobody said nothing else. Woo! All right. So what we got here, your count, which I know you know, is 7, 9, 11. Oh, I'm sorry. 7, 4, 9, 11. Not 9, 11. Jesus. Yeah. 7, 4, 9, 11. Hmm. This is what's wrong with you now. Okay, so let's look at this. How does the enemy attack you? Remember, enemy is not just a person. It's a thought. It's a belief. Voice is still amazing. Thank you, Nia. Nia, look at you. Oh, hi, Nia. Good to see you. You're a spiritual girly now. So you like all this. You like all this. Good to see you. I followed you back. Listen, we gotta go get lunch or something like that if you're still in San Antonio. We need to go get some lunch, and catch up. Y'all, Nia is so pretty. Y'all got to get into her. All right. Here we go, Kiara. You are okay, good. I'll DM you. So you got that 7. So this is how your enemy enters your doorway. Dun dun dun. That 7 birth gate gets you attacked through mental noise and doubt and spiritual confusion. So your enemy is going to try to clog your intuition. Your enemy is going to try to get you to overthink. Your enemy is going to try to isolate you, make you believe you got to be on your own and there ain't nobody and ain't nothing you can do. And disconnect you from spirit. And then overwhelm your inner peace. Yeah. And you could have divine insight, and here come that thought. Here come that person. Are you sure about that? You sure that's the message you got? You sure that's what you know? Is you sure? Yeah. That's all on. So that 7 doorway is sacred. It is intuitive. That 7 is very observant. You're an internal. You got a whole nother world going on inside of you. And you're tapped in. You got to trust that you are. So what your enemy will do is twist that inwardness into paranoia and anxiety and disconnect. So if your mind feels foggy, the spirit feels far away. That's the first thing it tries to do. And so you got to remind yourself that you can hear, you can sense, you do know, you are connected. There's nothing that you can do, or they can do, or it can do to separate you from your connection to the source and to the spirit. Period. Period. Exclamation point. No, nothing. Ain't nothing. Nothing they can do. All right? You got your soul nature number, which is a 4. So this is how they destabilize you. Here we go. 4 is structure. 4 is discipline. 4 is routine. 4 is order and stability. So the first thing your enemy gonna come in and hit you with is throw chaos at you. Chaos. You got a plan going, they're gonna disrupt your plan. They're gonna try to overwhelm you with too many tasks. Yeah. Get you off kilter and you don't know what to do. Absolutely. You be consistent. You said, this is my plan. This what I'm going. I'm going to exercise. I'm going to dance. I'm going to go practice. I'm going to go sing. I'm going to go whatever I'm doing consistently. Here they come. Break your consistency. Then that pushes you into stress. And then now your foundation is shook and now you're in shambles. So your soul is at peace when things are organized, Kiara. And so the enemy will try to create an environment where everything feels out of place. And once that structure leave, that clarity leave. So clock it. As you said, once you get off kilter, then now you suddenly lost and don't know what to do. So your solution is to get back into your routine and clarity will occur. Get back into your routine and clarity will occur. Okay? Your ancestral current is a 9. Jesus. I got the 9. So every time I see a 9, I'm like, Lord, 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 Lord. So, a 9 current means your ancestors. It's so regulating, right? A 9 current means that your ancestors is filled with a lineage of healers, of those who also emotionally sacrifice. 9 ancestral current means they got deep spirituality. But that also means since 9 is about endings and transitions and ancestors, that is the number of the ancestors. 9 got a lot of grief, generational grief, and old cycles, right? Having to learn how to navigate transition and struggling with closing cycles and having to start a new cycle, right? So your enemies try to attack this current by reopening old wounds, trying to loop you back into an old energy, some you already done came through. Woo! I know that's the truth. Oh, I know it's true. Right? Keep cycling you through the same type of thoughts, the same type of issue, the same type of thing that you already done worked through. All right? And then triggering that generational grief. So that 9 current, well, that's efficient because that shit works for me. Right. Yeah. And also making you feel like you're responsible for everyone. So you need to know that that is an ancestral enemy. Okay? An enemy thought, an ancestral enemy pattern or behavior. Enemies will try to drown you in that weight. So the attack comes through an emotional overload and a spiritual heaviness. I'll get stuck in a cycle real quick. Yeah. Got to be careful with that. All right. Okay. When you see that pattern repeating, you got to step out of it. Yeah. Stop the cycle. Got to stop the cycle. How I find you really got to, in order to stop a cycle, you really got to disrupt whatever the rhythm is that keeps it alive, right? So like people think that you break cycles through force. No, you actually, cycles break through interruption. So first, name what the pattern is. And your 4 don't help with that. You see how it stacks? That 4, they like a routine. So it's like, oh, great, it's the same shit. It's predictable. And they try to lock you in. So a lot of times cycles repeat because we ain't said nothing. We ain't acknowledged it. Right? Or we cover it up and that's just what I got to deal with. That's just what my life is. That's just it. No. Instead, I keep choosing people that drain me. I keep choosing things that go against me. I keep ignoring warnings. I keep running when I'm scared. I keep overexpending. A cycle can start to die when you name it, right? And I always say we got to learn how to catch ourselves before we fall. We got to catch ourselves when we start slipping. So what I want you to do is learn to identify the trigger, not the symptom. Because when the symptom come up, child, you already in the cycle. That's a great place to start. Yeah. So you got to know what starts the loop, not what is happening inside of it. So what emotions comes right before the pattern? What belief activates it? What wound does it touch? What do I fear will happen if I stop doing this? Most of the cycles begin at an emotional doorway. So find the doorway. Okay? What else? Another thing that we can do to break a cycle. Listen, we helping each other here. We got micro behaviors, and we got to break that too. So every cycle has a micro behavior. Answering the phone, justifying what someone else did, scrolling, right? Staying quiet, saying yes too fast. That's definitely mine. I'd be like, yeah, sure. Too quick. And then I'd be in a whole situation. I'd be like, avoiding a conversation, right? Going back just to talk. Let me just go back and talk. Let me just hear them out. Figure out the small behavior. Once you see that trigger, and then clock that small behavior, it's gonna break that, because a cycle is a pattern. You interrupt the pattern, you interrupt the cycle. Clock it. All right. Continuing forward. I just had to talk on that. So your divine mission number is a master number 11. This is that number of divine insight and divine clarity and leadership and revelation and higher consciousness and truth speaking and the So your enemy is going to try to block your mission. Come on, insight. Your enemy tries to block your mission. Because if you think about that 11, it's an antenna. Supercharged antenna. So they're going to flood you with noise. They're going to make you question your spirituality. So it taps on that 7 too. But the biggest thing with the 11 is overwhelm. Right? Surrounding you with emotionally chaotic people. Overwhelming you, giving you too much. They want to address a problem with you and they got 15 things they want to address. No. We're going to talk about this one thing and get clear on that. And then we can move to another thing. But I find that the weapon is overwhelm. Too many emotions, too much shit you got to figure out. Yeah. And you are energetically sensitive. Like I said, that 11 is divine insight. You got a 11 and a 7. You one of the most spiritualist people here. You say, yeah, I'll get shook up real quick. Yeah, you got the strongest spiritual numbers in your count, both of them. So your 11 is meant to see and to reveal. And so what your enemy will try to do is blindfold the spirit. If they can overwhelm you and you can't interpret your own signal and what you're sensing, then you can't hear spirit clearly. And that's how you feel lost. Seven and 11. But so you can't let a bitch come in and overwhelm you. People run up to you just talking. Stop. People calling you and not checking on you and instead just flooding you with what they're going on. Stop. I can't take that. And you trying to throw me off. That's going to overwhelm me. No, I can't go to that event. Y'all got too much stuff going on. No. Or if I do go, I got to do my grounding work, put my grounding oils on, make sure my head is covered or blessed or protected, because you are prone to overwhelm, because you have two of the, you have the, in fact, 9 is also spiritual. And wait a minute, you got all the spiritual numbers, sensitivity. Wait, you got a 9? No, you don't got a 9. Wait, you got a 9? Yes, you do got a 9 in your current. Period. That's it. And that is the right move. Stop a bitch. Yeah. All your numbers, except for the soul nature, is all emotionally sensitive, energetically sensitive. It's sensitive. So your weapon is your clarity. Yeah. Your 7 gives you that intuition. That 4 grounds you. Call on your 4 spirit to ground you. That 9 gives you that empathy and that emotional wisdom. And that 11 gives you that divine insight. So you win when you withdraw and reset. That's what I'm saying, Kiara. You are so when you be crying, girl, you can't help it. You're designed like this. Okay? So you win when you withdraw and you reset yourself, when you know how to pause and take a break and not deal with it then. When you go and you say, you know what? Thank you for this. I'll get back to you. I hear what you're saying and I want to respond properly. Let me get back to you. Reactivity is never the way you win. Even before this, those 3 numbers were my fave numbers. Yeah, because that's what you resonate with. Come on, confirmation. Yeah. So you win when you withdraw and you reset. Withdraw to reset, not withdraw just because you can't trust nobody. Withdraw with the intention of resetting. You win when you trust your intuition and your intuitive hits. Intuitive hit don't mean you understand the fullness of it. You just got the feeling, and that's what you need to trust. I don't know what it is, but something's not right with this person. Trust that. You win when you allow room for your solitude and your silence, because the spirit's always going to tell you what to do. You got an ability, and the 16 because of the connection to 4 squared and 2 to the 4th. So interesting. Come on, clock that. Come on, math. Come on, math. Come on, mathematician. So you see beneath the surface. You feel what the truth is. So when you're centered, listen. If you are confused, You don't understand. You don't hear. It's because you're not centered. When you center yourself, Kiara, your intuition becomes impossible to misinterpret. How do I center myself? Oh, there's a routine I done fell out of. Let me start that routine back. That's the fastest way you get to center. Thank you, sweets. I appreciate you. That's the fastest way. But when you are at that center point, you are sharp, you're prophetic, and certainly unshakable. Come on, 4. So y'all bitches will not defeat me through noise and burden. Okay? My spirit rises. Come on. That's right. When I feel furthest from myself is when I feel furthest from spirit. That's right. So you got to remind yourself the story of Adam and Eve is a lie. There was never a separation. You can never be separate. You just got to remember that. I'm not separated. I just forgot. Let me remember. Let me go ahead and recall this. Let me go and sit and get still and cut the noise off. Okay? You're so welcome. Good people of Oz, we got some good messages today. A late night session. I may need to do more of these late night sessions. All right. I love y'all. If y'all celebrate Thanksgiving or not, I know we got different things going on. Indigenous peoples and all that stuff. We got different names for whatever you do. If you are getting with your family in any way, I hope you enjoy. And times is hard. Times is hard. So any piece of joy I can get, I'm going to take. I don't know about y'all, but I'm going to take it. Come on. That's right. Come on, Donald Lawrence. That's good. All right, y'all. Love y'all from a light-filled place. Talk to you all later. Peace.